over here.
I love Samuel and Alexa. No, I don't. I fucking hate it. I paid for it.
Welcome to the Nerd to Movie Podcast, guys.
I tried to keep it straight, and he was just going on about Alexa. I paid for it. I hate it. Go on, Lewis.
We're back. The shit show's back again for another week with two movies. We haven't decided if we're sticking to the one movie, two movies. It's just however we feel.
It's going to depend on like what this. I think if it's a movie where there's a lot of subject matter to dive into, that's one thing. But like for instance, we're doing
or whatever boosts our fucking motivation. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted like one of the movies that is May 20th a Friday?
Shit, I don't know. No, it's going to be every 7, so it's going to be 21. So
that's a Thursday.
Okay, so Gorman hits the 20th. Yeah. I suggest Alex and I watch it in between then and that Friday night. Yeah,
late.
Yeah, because we'll definitely review that one. Oh, well, hold on, though. That's Schwarzenegger month.
It'll do a one-off. It'll be a one-off.
Okay, we'll film a one-off then.
All right, it'll be a one-off? All right.
All right, we'll do that.
I do want to watch it, because I've been trying to find it.
I didn't know that it was coming to Shudder, and then when you sent that, I was like, yes!
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Which do a whole bunch of fucking happy face bubbles.
If you heard, if you listen to last week's episode, or when you listen to last week's episode, or whenever, you'll know, or maybe this is a surprise to you. We're doing Arnold Schwarzenegger month all of May. We're going to be doing
starting next week.
three movies per week. We can't do. There's a couple we had to axe out, but
sadly,
we feel like
what?
Sadly.
Well, no, we've been trying to get out of the 3-movie bubble, and now we're going back into the 3-movie bubble. That's funny to me. But yeah, I'm all good for this stuff.
So, you remember what week 1 is?
Oh no, it's somewhere in my binder.
Lewis, you remember?
It was Twins.
Yep.
Terminator 1.
Yep.
And what the fuck was it? Was it Commando?
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a good week.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Which I'm looking forward to because I haven't watched Terminator 1 in quite a while.
You know what the problem with watching it is? If you've seen Terminator Genesis, they basically like whitewashed the whole thing and redid it with new actors. So like Terminator 1 is still really good, but Terminator 1 is much more of a low-budget sci-fi horror movie that just happens to have Schwarzenegger and he happens to steal the show. Like that's why when Terminator 2 came out, he was already a huge star. You know, he had boosted from Terminator 1 on, and then it was like, oh shit, we can't have him be the fucking bad guy. That's why Terminator 2, probably my favorite movie of all time, came out, and they made him the good guy, because Schwarzenegger at that point was like, you don't make Schwarzenegger the bad guy in 1993. You just don't fucking do it. Like, that was on the cusp of True Lies. Like, I think they were, like, back-to-back, basically. So it's like, I don't know, man. He was a powerhouse that unfortunately faded off into, like, I personally like the movie The Last Stand. A lot of his fans hate it. I thought it was fun and violent and kind of like what fit him, but unfortunately, like what fits him no longer exists in the modern movie landscape. You know, there is no like you gotta remember, we are in the in the world of toxic masculinity. So, like, you can't have Schwarzenegger. You know, there is, like, Chris Hemsworth as close as it comes, but it's like they do everything they can to demasculize that guy in the media because you can't be the tough, strong, hulking action guy anymore because that's now you're projecting a piss-poor image. However, you know, we've got models on America's Next Top Model or RuPaul's Drag Race fucking puking in toilets behind the scenes, and that's A-okay.
Well, it's also it's like the conversation we had about movies quite a while ago, where like that late '80s, early '90s, like those movies just can't exist. I mean, they can never be made.
They definitely cannot.
I mean, look at lines in Lethal Weapon when Murtaugh goes to put out Riggs' jacket after a house explosion. He says, "You know, what are you, a fucking F word?" You know, like, and that was just. Yeah, common lingo of like
he was trying to put him out. Yeah,
that there wasn't any thought to it either. It was like basically a British person saying cunt. You know what I mean? That just used to be part of the vernacular. So it's like things have shifted in a way where I mean, how do you do that? How do you do? Look at Rush Hour. How do you do Rush Hour?
Oh shit! Yeah, no shit.
Like, how do you have a
There's-
black man
there's
making
so
fun
much
of an
that
Asian
goes
man and
on
vice
with
versa? Especially what's going on in the world with the projected idea that the Asian Americans
Yeah.
under attack. How do you have a black guy roasting an Asian actor for an hour and a half, and the Asian actor gets into kung fu and the occasional roast himself? Like, that formula is problematic in today's eyes.
But I don't know. To me, it does kind of like. I don't want to say it makes those movies better, but it just makes them more like. I don't know what the word is for it, but it
Authentic.
Genuine.
I mean,
Genuine.
authentic.
yeah,
That's probably a better
Alex and I
Authentic.
Alex and I looked up listings from 1999 movie releases.
Oh yeah.
Holy fuck! Was March of
Only-
1999
only
was a
because-
loaded month. The entire year was loaded.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go watch a movie with somebody, and we were gonna go see who knows what the fuck it was, and I chose to not go see it with them. I think it was Angelina Jolie's Girl Interrupted,
In the
And
theaters, he saw. What did you see instead?
and
By yourself?
I chose to go watch oh god, what was it
Cruel
called?
Intentions
Cruel Intentions with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
by
And I
himself.
went by. I told them, I was like, you know what, you guys go watch that fucking shit movie. I'm gonna go watch this movie because I think it's gonna be better. And I went to watch Cruel Intentions by myself, and turns out that they were like, this movie sucked, and they were like, I wish we would have went with you. And everyone was like, we should have went and saw the movie.
So what happened was we were trying to pinpoint what
And then
movie
we-
it could have been, and we're pretty sure it was Forces of Nature with Sandra Bullock and
It
Ben
was either
Affleck.
Forces of Nature or Girl Interrupted, because those are the two.
I feel like Girl Interrupted is kind of your style, though, no?
No, with the friends I was with. With the friends I was with, I'm going between Girls
Okay.
Interrupted or Forces of Nature.
But yeah, you
And
have,
I think that's what happened.
you ever want to see a trip into Hollywood history as far as what, like, how big the industry and how amazing it used to be? Just go up,
No,
just
that
just
year.
yeah, go look at 1999 and all the fucking movies that came out that year. It's incredible. It's an
There was
insane
a shit
lineup.
ton of movies. There was a shit ton of. I think Matrix.
Oh, Matrix was one of them.
Yeah.
Back when the Oscars was hard because you literally had dozens of movies that came out that year that were amazing. Like
Yeah.
just on your own time when you're taking a shit, Google 1999 movie releases,
1999 movies,
and
yeah.
it'll blow your mind the amount of fucking heavy hitters that came out that year.
Theatrical releases. You have to specify. Don't just say movie releases, because then you're gonna get stuff that's released to DVD.
Yeah, go theatrical, but even the theatrical is just that entire year is
Yeah.
insane. But sorry, we've got two movies that we're actually reviewing tonight.
We do.
Behind me.
They star a gentleman by the name of Nicholas
Coppola.
Kim Coppola, or
Well,
as his stage name, Nicholas
Or-
Cage.
The
And my
Rage
wife-
Cage.
Nick Cage.
Oh, she
Because
knows him.
My wife knows him.
She's his
She
friend.
knows him. Is your wife the 27-year-old fifth wife that he's
I have no
married?
fucking idea.
Alex
my
is
wife-
drinking Four
my wife-
Locos, everybody.
Yeah, I'm about to do my little powerhouse. My wife believes she knows him.
So, both movies are doing star Nic Cage. So Willy's Wonderland and Mandy, which are both two fantastic films. Before we actually go into the films, though, I did want to talk about Nic Cage for a bit, because I think for me and Matt, one of the like iconic movies we know him from that we immediately think of is Con Air and The Rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Face Off.
And Face Off.
Yeah.
But it's funny because us growing up, we knew like the kind of more action side of Nic Cage.
Yep.
But if you like this dude, I looked up a bunch of stuff on him. So
Did
what's
you
up?
guys ever watch Raising Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for that movie, but
Yeah, I don't like the whole background of the whole thing, but I did like that movie though.
See,
well, so the thing is, he's been in 100 films. I looked this up.
Yeah.
Only 97 of them have actually been released, but this dude has been in 100 films, and it's crazy because Matt and I grew up like thinking of like action Nic Cage, but he's been in like a crazy spectrum of genres.
well, not only that, but like like people want to like they think about like Raising Arizona when like if you want to think of a different Nick Cage or Vampire's Kiss, you know. But the truth of it is, I think of movies like The Matchstick Men or not Sideways. He was in the Adaptation. These movies where like he plays offbeat characters, like Matchstick Men. He's literally got like I think it's Tourette's. He's got twitches and tics, and he's a con man. And like the thing about Nicolas Cage, I mean, look at what was the other one he did? Was it War Dogs or Dog of War or whatever it was called with him and Jared Leto? Like,
oh shit,
he's gone from that to fucking Ghost Rider. To, you know, I mean, and Lewis mentioned the two of the best, which is Con Air and The Rock, where he was like that. I mean, Nicolas Cage at that point in his career was untouchable. Like people look at Nicolas Cage now and go, "Oh, he's goofy." No. He was the fucking Rock. Okay, that's the thing is that's what Nicolas Cage was. So like, you know, to see him where he is now is a little bit saddening. But in the same token, I feel like if you watch the movies he's in now, he's having more fun than he's ever had in them. Like, as an actor, I feel like he's enjoying himself more than he ever has, and it's coming through.
Well, and that's another point I have, which obviously there's the meme Rage Cage. You could look up compilations of him like
amazing.
Freaking out and all that. But I had this conversation with a friend of mine who's like a movie snob, and I told him I was like, what do you think about Nick Cage? And his response, he's like, he's a good actor. And I was like, I think the same. Like, it's easy to think that he's crazy and he's in all these loopy movies, but he actually is a fantastic actor. And what made me think that even more, what made me think that even more was I was this past week, because I knew we were going to be watching these two movies. I was just looking up interviews that he's been in, which a lot of them are kind of goofy, but the way this guy talks about like the way this guy talks about the roles he takes in movies, specifically there's like an actors roundtable I watched where it's him, it's was it Christoph Waltz from
I gotta watch
Bastards.
that one. Yeah, okay.
It's Morgan Freeman, Stanley Tucci, like all these big guys are around
the Tucci, nice.
Yeah, the Tucci. And they're all asked if they think that acting is an art. And all of them give this like bullshit, like, well, you gotta have a good script, blah, blah, blah. And it gets to Nick Cage, and he's kind of arguing with Morgan Freeman. He's like, no, there's art in acting. And they're all kind of like brushing him off, like, no, you gotta have a good script and all that. And he kind of argues with them. He's like, no, like, I find the beauty in like the acting, like the art you can make with it. And if you stop and think like the craziness he brings to his films, like this dude actually has a passion for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Does it always result in something that doesn't look fucking crazy? No, but like Matt said, he literally at this point in his career, he's making projects he wants to do.
That make him a couple million a project. It gets him out of the house. He's got to stay somewhat in decent shape because he's still on camera. Like, sorry, I was.
But whatever you see him do, he exudes that he's fucking actually acting. He exudes that he's actually doing something.
And here's the thing. I think
he shows that he's actually working on it.
Now I don't know how much of his straight to digital or straight to DVD shit you guys have watched, but. There's like we were talking about that other movie called Kill Chain or whatever the fuck it's called on Netflix with him in it.
That was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
I will say, out of all the people that have gone down the direct to DVD like kind of slide that is his career right now, he's really the one that he's kind of bouncing back upward, and he's done the best out of them. Like even Bruce Willis has gotten beaten up on the direct to digital movie market. So it's like. What Nick Cage is
got one coming out soon too.
What Nick's doing, as your wife would say, what I think he's doing is Lewis is right. He's choosing movies he thinks the scripts are fun. He reads it and probably goes, I can have fun with this. Like, I could see myself fucking fighting these animatronic things, like being goofy. Like, this sounds like a good time. I only got to take a 25-minute drive down Rodeo because it's at the studio. I don't have to fucking go anywhere else, or we're going maybe into the foothills or whatever. Like, that's the thing. Or well, no, they filmed it in forests, wherever that would be, but. That's the thing is, like, Lewis is probably where he's just like, this sounds like fun.
He was probably like in total 2 hours max.
Like he seems like a fun dude. You know what I mean? Like he seems like somebody that if you go to the bar with, you're not gonna have a bad time.
I saw some behind the scenes footage of him with the actors, and it was him always smiling and him always like he was doing, but he was also doing the what do you call the Keanu Reeves pose where he never touched nobody. He was just putting his arm over there, and he was taking a picture.
He's got 27-year-old Suk Mi or whatever the fuck her name is to please.
I know, but I'm saying he was doing the ghost pose.
Smart.
He was
so
just putting his arm up.
another thing I love about him is he's not a method actor. Method actors can walk off a fucking cliff. Unless you're Daniel Day-Lewis, then you're all right.
Yeah, but you know what? It depends on the role. Gangs of New York, awesome. The oil movie, I take your milkshake. Your milkshake is my milkshake. Like, I get it. The Abraham Lincoln thing where he's like, address me as... No, motherfucker, you're British.
Or Jared Leto as the Joker.
Oh, fuck Jared Leto.
Yeah. But, so we'll jump into our first film since we brought up Nic Cage taking projects that he likes. So the first movie, which both of these are cult classics already, which is crazy.
They're amazing movies for different reasons.
Yeah, they're great. I like them both. I do like them both.
And here's the thing is they're totally different. Like, they're both technically in the horror genre, but they're entirely different spectrums. Willy's Wonderland is a goofy fucking horror movie. It's not designed to be anything but a fun, gory-ish, just fun movie. Mandy is a psychedelic trip through depression and sadness and grief and all the layers of hell.
It was a little more lower pace, but yes.
But it really is kind of Dante's Inferno of his track basically going through the layers of hell to get
That's
to
actually a really good analogy.
So like when you look at that, it's a trippy take on Dante. So Mandy is definitely the heavier of the two movies. And how about we do it this way? Rather than, you guys want to go back and forth and we'll do comparisons between them and kind of talk that way and deliver the reviews that way rather than doing kind of the ordered, and we'll just kind of go off on it?
Yeah, we'll do that. Let me just bring up one thing for Willy's Wonderland since we went up Nic Cage doing projects he wants. So the crazy thing about Willy's Wonderland is they tried to get this movie out before Five Nights at Freddy's, because this movie started as the screenplay writer was like, I have this idea, and everyone was shooting him down. This is not going to happen. Through a friend of a friend of a friend, the script got to Nic Cage, and immediately Nic Cage was like, fuck yeah.
Did he say fuck yeah, or did he say yeah?
No, he probably said fuck yeah. I know Nick.
Or did he go like this?
So the okay.
You know what that's from, right?
So the crazy thing was this movie, no studio wanted to fund it.
Oh, really?
And not only was it a situation of like the producers, which that's another thing, the producers and the writers trying to get this movie made, but Nic Cage was actually shopping this to studios, trying to get the movie made. The movie eventually got made with the help of his production company. He has one called Saturn Films, which is there's also an Easter egg in Mandy when Mandy asks Red what his favorite planet is, and he says Saturn.
Yeah, okay. So he was financially invested in this film then.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
And there's a lot of films Nic Cage is in actually that Saturn Films funds. So this dude, he seeks out movies he wants to do, which I like that in these old actors that are not A-listers anymore. They're kind of just, they just do what they want.
I think the problem with him is he took such a beating for the original Ghost Rider, because not only was he over the top goofy, but he had like the 8-pack, so he was trying to be younger, and I think that really hurt his Hollywood. Like that was, I know he was in Ghost Rider 2, but Ghost Rider 1 effectively killed his AAA career.
I noticed too that for what was it, Mandy, Elijah Wood was a producer.
So Elijah Wood is part of Spectravision. They do a lot of. They did Color Out of Space.
I gotta watch that movie again. I'm gonna make Jen watch that movie because she didn't watch it with me.
The movie was also part of Color Out of Space.
She actually wants to watch Mandy.
Yeah.
A lot of really good indie horrors coming out of Spectravision.
That's cool.
Elijah Wood and that crew do a lot of cool shit.
All right, that's good. I like to see something keep it going. Keep it going.
Is Color Out of Space on Shudder?
It is.
It might be.
I hope
I
so.
think I do think it is.
Because
The only bummer
wanna
bringing up
watch that.
Color Out of Space was it was supposed to be a 3-piece, 3 Lovecraftian films, but
Yeah.
Richard Stanley turns out to be a bit of a wife beater, so he got pulled from that, and that's not happening anymore.
Well, that's just not fun at all.
Oh, I can't pull it up right now.
Well, that's okay. So let's jump in. I guess we'll kind of do like, are we good with the free form, or we'll go back and forth?
Yeah.
Or? All right.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of compare them a little. Willy's Wonderland is a simple premise of he's driving down the road. He is a voiceless protagonist. To me, he was Grand Theft Auto 3's character. Never talks, silent. Like. And the whole thing is his tires get blown by a spike strip that is basically played off as the kids stole it from the local sheriff and threw him on the road. Basically, if you go ahead and clean this abandoned fucking theme park that's been closed down for over a decade at this point, but they don't tell him that. You don't find that out until later on, way late in the movie, how the timeline goes. If you clean it out for the night, I'll pay for the damages to the tires and whatnot. Now, that leads into, obviously, if any of you know what the Five Nights at Freddy formula is, basically it's Chuck E. Cheese from hell. There is a backstory, which I'd rather not completely dissect for you, so you do have some mystery to the movie. But there is an explanation as to why these animatronics things are seemingly coming to life. I'll go with, we'll start with, what was your guys' overall impression with Willy? Like, Willy's Wonderland, how'd you think of it? What'd you think of it?
All right. Lewis or me?
Alex, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, so I thought it was pretty cool. There was a whole thing about the whole satanic worship, blah blah blah.
That's the storyline I wasn't talking about.
Yeah. So it how do you put it? You're fucking with me, you know it.
Well, Alex, I mean, you also got to bring up your daughter is a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy's.
She is. She's actually pacing back and forth. She wants to come back and say something. She's pacing back and forth. No, but I watched her, and I had to like fast forward. I think it was 5 minutes of the TV show or the movie, just so we didn't have to see the whole the sex scenes or whatever.
It's a grinding, humping scene. It's not.
Yeah,
there's not even any nudity.
I know, but her reaction was just like a lot more. She's gloomy. Go ahead.
Alex just had his first Joe Biden of the night. Anyway. Anyway, come on, man.
Later on in the episode, Alex is gonna trip going up the stairs. So this movie had a lot of hype going into it for a couple reasons. Because it was a premise that was ripping off of a video game that they're trying to make a movie out of. You also got to realize the Banana Splits movie came out before
this. Which was not nearly as good as this.
No, it was not.
How many years before that was that?
A year and a half. Banana Splits has been out since like 2018 or 19.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is another movie that was trying to capitalize on that idea, but like just knowing Nic Cage was cast in this role, like immediately I was like, yes. Like I don't even know what it's gonna be. But
this movie did get a lot of negative attention before it even released because of its premise. Like people were like, "Oh, fuck that fucking rip off," and like, they were really hating on it.
Yeah,
which I don't think fair at all.
I enjoyed it. This is it's a good movie. I mean, this is not like it's not like you're sitting down to watch a film. This is literally a movie based off of an idea, based off of a video game. But I think it works because of not only the cast, but the animatronics that you see in the film look good. Nic Cage, the reason he took the role, or one of the things that excited about him, was that his character doesn't talk in the movie.
Yeah.
Which, I at first, before I watched it, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know. I kind of want to hear like Nic Cage. But his facial expression is the way he acts the character. Like I said, one of my favorite things about the movie.
Gyrations were pretty cool.
Well, like his whole dance moves around the pinball. Well, the thing about it is also the other things, like the guy tells him don't forget to take breaks. So like
Yeah.
he cleans, and his whole job is the whole thing is he's doing is cleaning. When that watch goes off, it's pinball and soda time.
He set a timer.
Yeah, punch
Yeah.
pop.
So in the script, there were two things that weren't kind of like fleshed out. Every time he goes to play pinball, that's like leveling up
Yeah.
to the next level.
That's the loading
And the
screen.
other thing is, in the original script, he did have one line, but they took it out. Towards the end, where he goes to fight a certain puppet, he says, "Come at me, bro."
Okay.
But they removed it,
So
which
yeah,
I am fine with.
so the pinball scenes are basically like loading into the next level.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is really funny and does kind of explain why in that fight later on he's got his fists up and the watch goes on and he's like hands her the knife and he starts. That's when he's doing his dance and everything. Like, and this is why like I think we're all kind of in agreement here that Nicolas Cage is not appreciated the way he should be as an actor.
Yeah, he
I mean,
is a great actor.
In this movie, and so what happened was I watched Willy's Wonderland because Lewis, I think you had watched it before us, right? And you loved it.
Yeah, my story with that movie is I fucking Target, fuck you. There was an ad on Target that said it had the Blu-ray with a digital copy. So I convinced my wife, I was like, let me go buy it because then I'm going to own it and the boys can watch it. I come home and it doesn't have the digital copy.
Real quick, would you guys be okay if my daughter gave her little review?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's got to tell us out of 5 stars though what she thinks.
Hot dogs.
All right, so out of 5 stars, you have to judge
Hot dogs.
how well you liked it. 5 hot dogs. How do you like the movie?
We're talking big hot dogs, little hot dogs.
3 or 5.
The 1/8 inch, man, 6 inch.
No, well, you have to come a little closer and speak loud.
I'm all about those Nathan's hot dogs.
Hi. This is my daughter Rose. She's doing a cosplay of something right now. Okay.
From Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, this is not FNAF. She had it earlier. What?
FNAF.
So, what was your thoughts of Willy's Wonderland?
I really liked it because it was good. The
Louder.
I really liked the animatronics break and like just the gore.
She liked the gore of the
gore
animatronics
itself
and
was, like actually, it was just satisfying for some reason.
for some reason she liked the gore of the animatronics.
Did she like the main guy?
What do you think about Nick? Your mom's favorite actor.
Personal
Yes.
buddy.
Yeah, he was
He was a good actor.
He was a great actor.
What do you think about the guy that was unzipping the zipper? Yeah, that's what I thought. Go ahead.
That was awkward because you brought up the nudity.
Because she called him a pervert for some reason.
Thank you, Rose. She didn't give it the hot dogs though.
She didn't give it the hot dogs.
So hey, how many hot dogs? 4, 3, 2, 5?
5.
Oh,
5
she gave
hot
it
dogs. We got a 5.
5.
5. She's
Whoa.
Very
pretty
good.
yellow.
Very good. Okay. So,
So one of her main things was she said when we were watching it when the guy unzipped the zipper, which when you're on Roku, it doesn't fast forward fast enough. It doesn't fast forward fast enough. And she goes, "He's a pervert." That's the first thing she yelled. And I was like, "No, it's part of the movie. I understand."
you really got.
No, you should have been like, "Yes, honey, but he's about to get murdered."
Yeah, explain it to her. Just be like, "Don't worry, honey.
Yeah.
They're gonna get their comeuppance for being whores."
And then I told her what you said about, if you have sex in a movie, you die. And I was telling her that, and it didn't work.
It is. If the final girl is a virgin, that's why she survives.
But a lot of the times, the final girl has sex from the time the movie starts to the time the movie ends.
Yeah.
Thus adding her back to the death pool.
It just fucking blows up in the middle.
Mm-hmm. So, Willy's Wonderland. I don't. Here's the thing: is I want to give the review, but I don't want to say a whole lot because
That was a 9-year-old version, by the way.
It is one of those movies that, like, if you're not familiar with the current style of what Nicolas Cage is putting out there, I think it's a really great way. Like, my wife, like, normally, like, she's trying harder to get. I'm still trying to get her to watch Dark City again. But
it's been 10 years.
It's been like a decade at least. Yeah, no shit, dude. It's not even a joke. It's for real. But I asked her, I was like, "Do you have any interest?" And then I had her watch a couple scenes from Mandy, and I was like, "I don't know if this is your deal, man. Like, I like the psychotropic shit." And she's like, "I have interest in that." So She loved Willy's Wonderland. It's because it's a dumb fun movie. Like, you don't have to be a Nicolas Cage fan. This is one of those movies that in the Blockbuster days, you walk by and normal people, because there's only 2 copies and it's Nicolas Cage in his career now, don't pay attention to it. But you pick it up, you go home, and you're like, holy fuck, I want to buy this movie. Like, this is amazing.
Now here's where I get what your wife said. I get that, it's a separate psychotropic, but like, do I want to watch that right now? Do I want to fucking deal with that? I get it. I get that. I get what she's saying.
Well, no, she actually has interest in it. It's just
I did enjoy both movies, but if I had my choice, I probably would have passed.
I mean, I think you have to, like, that's also, for me at least, I like to watch movies on certain vibes. Like, Mandy, Willy's Wonderland is a movie you can throw on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock and
Just
still,
get it over with.
but you can still enjoy it to its fullest. Like, nothing about the atmosphere in your home or setting is going to take away from the fun brightness of that movie. Mandy is a movie that you watch after dark, when the house is quiet, when you're relaxed, if you have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever you use to relax, some capiche, crack cocaine is another one.
I actually had
do some of that.
I actually had a glass of whiskey, and as I was watching, I was like, "Holy shit, this is fucking! I should be tripping on acid." I kind of get it.
And they are different from each other. Like I said, Mandy's a poppy, bright kind of. I would call it a popcorn horror flick type, horror action comedy. Mandy is a very straightforward. It's a dark tale. It's the basic premise is this cult rolls through Mandy. So it's Mandy, and what is his name in the movie? I don't.
Jeremiah or Red.
What is it?
Nic Cage.
Nic Cage is Red.
Red. Okay. So he's like a lumberjack that's got to be helicoptered in like fucking Schwarzenegger in Predator.
He's from the
and he's with Mandy. They're both kind of oddballs. They're both into the sci-fi. The movie does a very good job at the beginning of kind of making you feel that they love each other, that they're kind of each other's soulmates. That they're two. The movie both organically and kind of abstractly shows that their connection is really soul deep. So that's what makes the events of that lead up, that follow that lead up, so much more depressing and saddening, which is the idea that they basically burn her to death in front of him. And
that was rough.
It's a very hard, if you've ever been or are in love with your current spouse and you don't hate them to death, you definitely do sit there and kind of like, because it's always in the, like, that's, what if that was Jen? And it's a very tough scene to watch because it is very graphic in its nature. But it does set up the chain of events. Alex, go ahead.
This does take place roughly in the 80s, doesn't it? Because
1983.
Okay. Because I keep trying to look at it. I keep trying to. Did they display it at the beginning of the movie, or is that just?
I believe they do say the year. They say the year, but you also get clues from the furniture, the home, the television.
Yeah, and the Children of the New Dawn is kind of like Helter Skelter type.
So which is also, if you think about it, setting a horror movie pre-internet is a really intelligent device to ruin, to get rid of the cell phone problem.
Because of the soundtrack, it also made so much more sense with the soundtrack and how shit was shot and how they were dressed, and oh god, I loved everything about Mandy. We're bouncing back and forth, by the way.
Yeah, so Mandy really is the best of the 80s indie psychedelic horror.
It was so
or 60s. 60s to 80s, because there was 70s influence. There was
I've never seen so much 80s in a movie that was made in 2018.
When you're talking about the Manson murders and shit like that, that's going back to late 60s, early 70s. So like, it's basically, the movie is almost like 3 decades in culmination of atmosphere, which is a really amazing feat. And once again, you have to be. I think this movie is a movie where you have to be in the mindset. You have to be in a zone where you can focus, but still relax and just kind of enjoy the fact that your entire room is lit up with red fucking lighting,
holy shit.
And so but it is a dark movie. It's a very sad movie, and basically, and this is where Nic Cage his acting, his acting.
You're friends with my wife now, huh?
Yeah, we're all buddies, buddy. We got a Discord call later together to talk about his next project.
You got a buddy group going on now.
Yeah, he's our BFF. So the one scene that I really find kind of touching in his character, is when he goes and he talks to Mac. When he talks so he goes and visits him in his trailer, and there's this scene when he's.
I like that guy. Is that the guy with the crossbow?
Yeah, that's Mac from Commando, or from Predator. And then he's also in Commando as well as a bad guy. But he like when he starts to have his breakdown, he's like, "They burned her alive!" Like, and that's you can look at that as like, that's crazy Nicolas Cage, or you look at it as like, no, dude, this is a guy who is every moment he is awake, he is dying inside with the idea that he just watched his soulmate burn to death, and it's just like he plays it so well that like he is in pain. Not physical damage doesn't fucking faze him, but he is in pain the entire movie.
Do you find it weird that he has a friend that's okay with understanding that, hey, I have no idea what the fuck you're going through, but here you go.
Here's the truth of it. It's unsaid in the movie, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just going to assume that they're Vietnam buddies, seeing as it's 1983.
Yeah. He's a veteran.
But he says, "Hold this for me." Yeah, I get that part.
Yeah, but that's the thing is though that's their bond though. Like if you're a Vietnam buddy, you're a buddy for life.
He's already in the camo. He's already in the camo. Yeah. I get that.
So like that's the thing is since they're Vietnam buddies, that's why there's like that unspoken like bond brotherhood. But the thing about it is he kind of systematically from that point on starts hunting them. He that awesome battle axe he fucking he's apparently had a forge in his backyard or something. I don't know. But he's got the awesome battle axe.
Actually, you don't know. He might have multiple talents.
But so I know we're gonna bounce back and forth. Lewis, what are your thoughts? Because I know you haven't talked much. What's your thoughts on how I know you loved Mandy, but like what did you think of it?
It was good.
So this is another movie that had cult word of mouth when it came out, and I know a lot of people in the horror community were like they mentioned specifically the bathroom scene where he freaks out and the chainsaw fight and all that. But when you actually sit down, like you said, and watch this movie, and you remove kind of like the scenes that are turned up to 10.
Oh, it's Nicolas Cage. That whole thing.
It's a heavy and actually this movie really injects itself with craziness when it introduces the Black Skulls, the biker gang, which they're a demonic gang that basically chugs a liquid form of LSD.
Yeah, they're like the literal Hell's Angels.
Yeah. So this movie has so many layers to it. Yeah.
So the bathroom scene.
I apologize. I was trying to find the right.
So the bathroom scene is probably my favorite scene in the movie because it, in my opinion, it really demonstrates his. It demonstrates his swing. Like yes, it's funny because Nicolas Cage is screaming and he's doing the Nicolas Cage thing and he's in his underwear, but. If you're gonna watch a movie and you're gonna analyze it like we do, you have to watch it for what it's intended. And what you're seeing is a man in a breakdown. He just watched the love of his life brutally murdered. He's now back to an addiction, which is loosely not really talked about too much, which is alcohol. Which he obviously goes right for his stashed bottle in the bathroom cupboard. So he goes back into his alcoholism, but it's not because. He's obviously been clean for a while. He made that promise to Mandy, but she's gone, and now he's got to numb the pain of her not being there. It's a movie that really, in my opinion, it's Dante's Inferno. It is this man literally diving through the 7 layers of hell, not to save Mandy, but to punish the ones who took her. And I think that's the ultimate thing is it's Dante's Inferno, but instead of redemption, he just wants revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say, this is a scene, if this is their first time watching this movie, you'll laugh at this scene. Rewind it and watch it again, because it's fucking depressing.
Because
it's a fucking depressing scene.
You start to see why he's actually screaming, why he's actually ha-ha-ing.
I mean, if you look at
He actually does the whole Nic Cage ha 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 ha. But now you see why he's doing it, and you hear it. And,
in the image Alex has behind him, you see the kind of bloody hands. That's because they literally had him tied up with like razor wire to watch his wife burn to death.
And it was also on his neck and on his mouth.
So this scene is literally takes place right after he got himself disconnected from the razor wire and everything. And
no, he actually slept for a couple hours.
Yeah, but this is like that whole
realized what happened, and then he fucking goes full Nic Cage.
But this scene's amazing. I mean, here's the thing: is the chainsaw fight's cheesy as shit, but it's meant to be. It's not cheesy. It's not cheesy as shit on accident. It's cheesy as shit. Like they knew it was cheesy when he came with the chainsaw, and then the other chainsaw is like 4 feet long. Like they know what they're doing, and I thought it struck a perfect chord, to be honest with you.
But it also
resolve this issue. Yeah.
It also adds to the psychedelic trip that this movie is, because I mean, if you're watching the movie from the beginning to end, it's like a bad trip, and then it just starts to get weirder and fade together. And even at the very end of the movie, when everything's done and he's kind of just walking off in the distance, like it's still a bad trip. So I think this movie does a really good job, and also the colors in this movie are fucking beautiful.
It's basically
from beginning to end, these guys are all fucking high on fucking LSD.
There's scenes in this movie where it looks like somebody shot off a colored flare throughout the entire scene, and it's amazing. This is one of those scripts and movies I would like to keep everything but let Rob Zombie take a crack at it.
I can see that.
I think a Rob Zombie
I don't want as long as his wife's not in it.
As long you keep that Sherry Moon lady out of the fucking product, unless she's Mandy, because she'll only be in it for 20 fucking minutes.
Okay.
But that's the thing is like,
we all agree on that.
Yeah, nobody likes her except him maybe. But like the thing about it is like, could you like? I think this sort of source. I think this is what he tried to go with the Witches movie he was doing. And with that other movie he was doing, 31, it was this movie has the vibe that Rob Zombie has been trying to reacquire since since Devil's Rejects. Okay. This is the type of atmosphere that a director like Zombie, I think, if he had this source material, this cast and everything, nothing to take away from the director of this film, but I would love to see Zombie's interpretation of it with his styling.
Well, I mean, the good thing is Nic Cage is in this realm of style of films now. I mean, Color Out of Space, that was Spectrovision. This is Spectrovision. Willy's Wonderland. I think he's finding his like niche in like this indie horror scene.
I think him and Vince Vaughn need to team up.
Are these the same director?
What's that?
No. So the director of this is Panos Cosmatos. Who he did another film, the only other film he's known for. If you think this movie's an acid trip, he does another movie called Beyond the Black Rainbow. It's an old movie, but it's trippy as shit.
I've seen parts of that movie on YouTube.
So this one and Color Out of Space are they the same co-producers?
Both Spectrovision. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Elijah Wood's company.
So there's a guy with Elijah Wood. Okay.
I mean, here's the thing:
Color Out of Space is by Richard Stanley, who he's crazy. He got fired from The Island of Dr. Moreau. He was the director, except he went like cuckoo and tried to sneak in as extras in his own film until he got arrested.
You were saying that, yeah.
I mean, I like Color Out of Shape. I was actually surprised that movie was more horror than it was. Like it was, I thought it was going to go more sci-fi, but it definitely took a more horror angle.
Yeah, more.
Which I was okay. I was okay with. I liked the movie. I mean, I thought it was, But here's the thing: if you want to look at it, so here's a perfect example. The problem is you can't judge Nicolas Cage movies on an even platform, right? Like you got to judge him by the character he's playing. So like, people can look at Red as like, oh, that's just Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, but it's not. Like Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage out of Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
That is a goofy, just kind of like, oh, it's a virus, go crazy, act crazy. That's the type of Nicolas Cage where I can see people being like, okay, we get it, you're crazy. But in a role like this, where there's so much depth to the pain this guy is feeling, and I do really feel it is its own version of Dante's Inferno. And as I don't know, the kind of hell he goes through for basically just revenge. He knows he's never getting her back. She's gone. He watched her burn to death. So it's just to right the injustice that has been done to the love of his life.
That look that he fucking gives at the end of at the end of the movie, though, when he's looking to the side and he sees her, or whatever, and he smiles. I was trying to capture it because I was gonna make that my background, but I couldn't fucking do it because it was my Xbox.
I was hoping that meant he was dying and was going into her arms in
exactly.
whatever plane of existence she's on.
At some point, he was gonna fucking.
That's how I took it. That he laid down, he was at peace, and the fact that he was seeing.
He made that face. He went.
Yeah, the fact that he was seeing her meant she was taking him over to the next plane of existence, whatever that might be.
There's so many deleted scenes on Shudder which I didn't watch. I don't know if Anthony, did you watch them? Or... Yeah, they have like two different.
I actually own it, so I probably have it in the extras too.
I own it.
So I watched it on Shudder. So there's deleted scenes, and then there's something else. I didn't get to it because I had a rough day today. So I didn't say that, but I had a rough day today.
Let's
Shudder has some deleted scenes that we didn't get to go through.
That's all right. I think we should bounce back to Willy's a little bit because we haven't covered the whole story. I mean, I don't want to tell too much, but basically the idea is Alex ruined it. These child murderers who were running the kind of like Chuck E. Cheese type situation as a way to murder families and children and shit like that, all commit like a cult-like suicide where they do a satanic ritual which basically puts their souls into the bodies of the animatronic robots, to which the town sheriff and everybody who lives in this small town is all in on it. They basically take tourists, trap them, and then feed them to the whatever they consider them, gods. I don't remember how they exactly talk about them. And the idea being that they've never come across a foe such as Mr. Nicholas Coppola. And he's basically just treating it. He's got to clean up. And the funniest things about it is it's not even like for him. Killing the animatronics is part of cleaning up. He literally brutally murders them, and then into the hefty bag they go, and he cleans the air. Like every level he completes in the game, he's literally sweeping and cleaning the area. It's the funniest fucking thing.
When it first starts out, though, it seems like he's actually trying to redeem something. So you don't know if it's him or if it's the child that's coming, or the kid that's coming into the scene.
What?
You don't know if it's him. You don't know if it's him that was the kid that was left at the beginning. Because the
girl.
No,
is
that's the
kid.
cop.
That's the girl.
No, sorry. Yeah,
the kid.
The girl that tries to light it on fire is the kid that's left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but at the beginning you don't see it because all you saw was who is this person?
She was clearly a little girl, though.
Well, at the beginning it's like whatever.
Who is this little person?
You just assumed his gender.
But he kind of comes in as like the nameless foe who they figure is just like, oh, we're gonna feed another one to Willy. And he goes in and fucking cleans house, man.
He pisses everybody off.
And he really is a badass in this movie too.
It's very much a video game mentality of like, in a game you have something to do and you do it, and that's how you get to the end of the level. And I like that the movie if
completing the task.
If you're someone who plays video games, you just like keep picking up on that thread in the movie. And the cool thing is if you're not, it's just a goofy movie.
It's just a fast-paced, fun fucking ride. And here's the thing though, like frankly it does give credence to the idea that the idea is straight up stolen from Five Nights at Freddy when you do section the script off as like, here's your loading screen, it's pinball. Which we alluded to, but his dancing by the end of the movie at the pinball, he's just doing his little spins and pure Nicolas Cage. Like
that was not in the script.
I knew it. I had a feeling about that, and I just like, and that just shows you how much fucking fun he's having.
Popping the fucking cans and drinking them.
Yeah, he drinks nothing but sugar soda. That's what he survives on.
And he has it all in a fucking sleeping bag,
which he then uses as a weapon when he loads into the knapsack and fights him. He uses his sack of colas, pop punch, as a weapon. It really is a video game.
They weren't all open, so he takes them with him.
It really is structured like a video game where each level he clears is a different animatronic. He literally cleans the area after he kills them. Which I really appreciated that structure.
The part where his alarm goes off and he tells he like looks at her and he gives her a knife and he goes to fucking drink his own fucking hyper cola.
Well, they tell him anything in the kitchen's yours and there's nothing, but the freezers from 10 years ago are still on somehow, so he throws the soda in there. And the funny thing is the pinball machine is almost like an unlocked secret he finds in the game, where he's got to clean it off and he dusts it off, and then when the next time you see it, it's like bright and the colors are vibrant, and so it's a very cool device they use for almost like a loading screen, like next chapter,
I think my favorite little like fun thing in the movie is him getting a new T-shirt every time.
Every time. Yeah. They're in the storage room. I love that.
So Jen and I are watching it, and at one point he kills one of them, and the blood sprays on him. And she goes, "He's gonna need another shirt," and literally goes into the closet and gets a new shirt. Like she was calling it out. She's like, "Gonna need another shirt." She was having fun with that. It's just a fun movie. Like. When my wife can sit down and watch it, because it's a dumb movie. When you really there is no depth to Willy's Wonderland. It's just a dumb, fun horror, action, comedy, whatever you want to classify it. So it's fun that you could sit down. Like your 9-year-old was able to enjoy it. My wife, who doesn't typically like these styles of movie, were able to enjoy it to the point where now she's interested in Mandy, because now it's Nicolas Cage. She sees it. It's not just some dumbass. She has no idea what she's in for Schwarzenegger month, though. there's movies like Commando. I've never made her watch. She's watched Twins. We've watched Terminator 1. The first week will be easy for her because she's just got to sit through Commando without. She'll be happy to watch Twins and shit again. The second week, which is I won't read it out loud, but she's never seen.
The second week is good.
She's never seen 2 out of 3.
As far as what we've watched, what did you guys think of the Cheddar Goblin?
So Cheddar Goblin. So I'll give you a story about that. So in Mandy, there's a fake commercial in the background of Red.
That sounds very real.
It's the Cheddar Goblin, which if you've seen the movie, you can find clips of it on YouTube. It's like 30 seconds. So there was a spoof short on Adult Swim called Too Many Cooks. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
I have.
It's it's so fucking annoying. Anyways, the guy who made that and Shane Morton, who's a special effects guy who's worked on a bunch of shit. The director of Mandy needed background footage for the TV, but if you use any commercials, you have to license that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he went to Shane Morton and the guy who did Too Many Cooks, and he's like, just make something. And they pitched this idea, and they didn't have the goblin or anything. They just made the fake craft boxes of the mac and cheese, and just put a goblin on it.
Okay.
So then Shane Morton created the Cheddar Goblin, and they filmed this minutes long little mini movie that ended up being the fake commercial in the movie. Huh. And last podcast on the left, which me and Alex listened to, Shane Morton is friends with one of the guys, Henry Zabrowski, and sent him the actual Cheddar Goblin they used in the movie. So he owns the actual prop.
Oh, wow.
But it's weird. That whole thing started because the director was like, I don't want to pay to license a fucking commercial. Let's just make one.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I have to actually make a trailer for the Twitch channel.
So another thing,
when you go to affiliate, they give you the option, so I got to put something together and edit it together.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be fun. I mean, I'm going for the comedic flair, obviously.
Another thing I was looking at as far as music goes, Matt and I were talking. I thought it was kind of dipping into the vampires, music.
I agree that there's John Carpenter flair, but to me, it's much more Escape from New York type music.
Okay, and that's what you said, yeah. Because there was that whole one
the resonating wah, wah, wah. Yeah, very John Carpenter.
Yeah. So it was something that was bothering me through the entire fucking movie, and I couldn't figure it out. So I said Raising Arizona, and then I was like, "Oh, John Carpenter's vampires." And then Matt and I were talking. He was like, "Yeah, maybe Escape from New York."
They Live a little bit too. It had kind of that sci-fi kind of.
They Live, okay.
Yeah, the soundtrack for They Live's weird.
But the whole thing about the music about it, it kept me into it because it was very 80s. It was so fucking 80s, and I love that about this movie, Mandy.
Mandy
So
did
here's
the Stranger Things formula better than Stranger Things did.
Okay.
What if you saw this movie and Cage was not red, he was sand? Because that's originally who the director wanted.
It would totally depend on who played Red. Without having the opposite actor who would play Red, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Jeremiah Sand is the main guy, right?
The Colt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the guy from New York, fucking whatever, or SVU.
Yeah, because and this goes back to Nic Cage picking projects he wants to do. He was originally given this script. What's up?
I hated the guy that played Sand from his SVU or whatever.
You don't like seeing his pee-pee?
No.
So good.
His cop persona, his lawyer persona.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody watches SVU under the age of 63.
He was part of SVU or whatever that was. I know him from there.
Does he show his wiener in that too?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
So when I saw him there, I was like, I don't fucking like that guy. And then when I saw him, I was like, holy shit, I know that guy.
So,
God, fuck this
so
guy.
when Nick,
I was like, oh my god.
when Nic Cage was originally given the script for this, they wanted him to play Sand, and he turned down the movie.
Show his pee-pee.
That was a good choice for him.
And a year later, the director came back and was like, "You
could
said
be
you
Red."
wanted to play. Yeah, you said you wanted to play Red. Do you still want to do the movie?" And Nic Cage was like, "Yeah."
He's like, yeah.
Good fucking choice. See,
Does a peach taste delicious?
That's very popular. Yeah, go.
You're just rambling at this point.
Yes, I am.
I'm a rambling man.
But I like the choice. I
like to eat green eggs and ham.
I also have green eggs and spam.
Spam is spam. I don't like spam. I mean, it's okay, but for me, if I'm gonna eat spam, you really gotta crisp it, man. You gotta crisp it up.
I'm gonna cook it anyway.
You gotta crisp the spam. We haven't given either a review. We want to do some wrap up thoughts. Hey, shut the fudge up, dude. You've overtalked everything. Shush, please. Does anybody have anything else to say about either movie?
It's weird because I mean it's the same actor, but like you said, these are in the horror genre. These are two movies that are across the room from each other.
There's a whole spectrum in between.
But it makes me like, oh man, I know people are gonna probably listen to this and be like, Nic Cage is not that great. Name me one actor that can emulate any of the crazy acting he does in all of his films. Because I can't think of one.
All right, I'll go first. As far as Willy, I'm gonna give him a 3. I love it.
No, we're not there yet. Hold on.
Oh, what the fuck are we doing?
Are you
then?
even listening to what people are saying on the fucking show at this point? How about you just go sit in the corner and mute your mic then if you're not gonna pay the fuck attention?
All right.
Jesus. Lewis is literally saying name an actor that could do what Nicolas Cage does, and you start throwing out 3s and 4s.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I mean, the problem is who's got the track record as well. Like, I mean, maybe Jim Carrey.
What just happened with the camera?
I'm fucking with you.
I don't know. Like, especially who's still out there doing it. I haven't watched Unhinged yet, so I don't know if Russell.
Wait, did you say Jim Carrey at first?
I mean, I think he's got the way I think he could swing it.
I would love to see him in more like dark, serious
dark roles. Yeah.
Serious horror roles.
Well, he was in that movie that flopped because it was just dumb and it was like that dark. Not number 13, but recently it was in the past couple of years. It's like one of the worst reviewed movies he's ever made. But no, I agree. I'd love to see. You know what I'd like to see him in is like a Death to Smoochie, like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Give me a dark comedy where
That's a good movie. You don't like Death to
Smoochie? I know. I like it, but I'm just saying Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, I think Jim Carrey could swing that. I mean, look at him in Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Like, there's scenes in there that are heavy where he handles just fine. Like, the problem is when you're looking at the range of emotions that actors can do, as far as, like, actors in general are far too, like, I'm an actor, to be able to, like, let themselves go and be silly and be crazy like those guys do. But I don't know. You got me stumped on that one. I mean, Vince Vaughn, if he keeps up with the track he's on, because his last 3 or 4 movies have been fucking nail-biting, violent movies, man.
I like the direction he's going in.
I think he's going kind of in the Nicolas Cage route, where it's like, this movie sounds interesting, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But his, like, you know, the Cell Block 9 or whatever it is, 19 or 99, whatever it is a fucking brutal movie. It'd be funny if Alex is just fully engulfed in flames. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? He's lighting
What'd you drop?
That picture behind you gives your fucking thing a weird 3D, like yeah, when you cover the mask.
Don't do that.
Don't tickle it. It just looks like you're in the bathroom with him. It's odd. Yeah.
Well, the whole fucking scene was odd to me. So
It does work with your background, though. I feel like you're there with just. Okay, Alex, let's get.
I'm assuming that scene was shot like an open cube where he just had
that little bit of space. Yeah.
He had a fucking big bulge, and he never had that before. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't think we were going to go into that analysis, but that's up to you there, buddy. I'm not going to restrict your freedom of speech. Lewis, did you have anything else to say before we start doing the hot dogs?
No, I mean, like you said, these are 2 different mood movies.
I think
Willy's
Mandy's
Wonderland,
the hardest. Mandy's harder to just watch than Willy's Wonderland's easy. It could be a daytime watch that doesn't impact the way you view it, but Mandy's the one you really got to kind of like be in the zone for.
Are you gonna switch it every time? So Willy's Wonderland is.
You want to do Willy's? All right. What the fuck are you gonna pound on keyboard?
Mandy is a great movie. No, I'm just fucking with you. No. Yeah, no. To Matt's point about Mandy, I was gonna watch it the other day and just throw it on while I was working, and I was like, no. I need to. This movie craves my attention.
Yeah.
Whereas Willy's, you can kind of just throw on.
I do want to say, like, one of the scenes I love is when they're eating dinner and they don't, like,
Yeah.
they're both so into sci-fi that they're staring at the TV, but they're both together, and she's, like, they're both kind of nerdy into the sci-fi. Like,
Because it's like a real scene of 2 people.
But also, who actually eats fucking dinner just fucking that far away? That's my only concern.
Well, I mean, it was the 80s, and the table was lower, too, that's why.
That's my only concern.
But, like, even when he's, like, cutting the steak, like, their eyes never get off the
But you
plate.
gotta take it in a time capsule. Like, that's their thing. Like, that's probably their thing they do at night.
It was supposed to probably be them, like, watching Star Trek or something akin to that on TV together. Like, they're obviously both sci-fi nerds. You know, they have a beautiful home out in the sticks. Like, their whole little bedroom where they sleep under the skylight of the moonlight is some of the most beautifully shot scenes.
Where you live.
What's that?
Why would you tell somebody where you live?
She did.
That's what happens.
They followed her.
No, they follow her.
Yeah, but she also says we live by Crystal Lake.
But that's another thing. That's a fucked up thing in the movie.
Yeah,
is
from there.
The main villain of the movie is essentially a throwaway. But the creepiest thing about Mandy is the reason. What happens to Mandy is such a like, oh, I can't use you. Like,
you're not good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They murder her for
a dark fucking movie. The more I talk about it.
There's zero, you know, basically under the guise of you're not one of the chosen ones.
And she laughs at them, which I thought that was fucking phenomenal when she started laughing at them.
Mm-hmm.
That was my fucking
ballsy.
Yes, that's the best thing you could fucking do. I love that part.
But
which I guess we should bring up. She's in another film called Possessor, which is another kind of trippy movie.
Yeah,
that's worth a watch.
I did enjoy that movie too. I'm actually gonna watch that again. I when I watched it was really late at night, and sometimes I tend to double back on them just to like make sure because there's shit I'll miss where it's like I look at my phone for some fucking reason. All right, So let's start with Willy's. What do we want to do out of hot dogs? Alex, we'll start with you.
All right. As far as hot dogs for Willie's, I'm gonna go 3.5. I did enjoy it. My kid probably enjoyed it more than I have. She probably would say 4 out of maybe she. I think she would say 5, but I'm gonna say 3.5.
She did say 5.
She said
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was a good entertaining thing. It was just missing something. But yeah, 3.5.
Lewis?
Yeah, I'd go a solid 3. Like this is a movie you should know what you're
Yeah.
going. It's a popcorn horror flick,
Yeah.
not in the sense of like the AAA ones like Conjuring and that bullshit.
Yeah.
But
It's not
it's a good
Insidious
movie.
8.
Yeah, no, God no. Yeah, I'd go a solid 3 out of 5.
I'm gonna go a 3.5 out of 5, simply because it's one of those movies where, like you said, you have to understand what you're watching. You're not watching an Oscar contender,
Yeah.
but for what it is and for the obvious budget it has, and I think they do an amazing job with it. I had a lot of fun with it, and honestly, it'll be a movie that I pop in randomly when I'm bored and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what? In a couple months from now, if not sooner, I'll be watching it again just because I enjoyed it that much. I won't, I'm not going to give it a 4 or 5 simply because, like, that's not true. It's not a 5 worthy movie, but I did enjoy the hell out of it. So 3.5 for me, too.
That's cool.
All right, so I'll start with Mandy. Mandy for me is a 4-star. Mandy with me is a movie that, or 4 hot dogs. It does have a lot of depth to it. I am a huge and always have been a huge fan in the psychedelic type movies. I love the color spectrum they use. I think it's a movie that goes from being very beautiful to very dark and tragic. It's got a very crazy swing to it. I think Mandy is a movie that it doesn't matter if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, if you're a fan of what makes films fun to watch, and you want to see people enjoying the work they do, I would check out Mandy. I'd give it a solid 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go next. I would say the same. A 4 out of 5. My favorite like subgenre in horror are kind of like the heavy subject matter movies, or just like movies that you have to sit down and watch and kind of stick with you. For example, like Saint Maud, Midsommar, Hereditary. Mandy's another one of those films where like this movie needs your attention.
You and I, we're gonna have to like have a talk about those movies at some point because Hereditary I really love. Midsommar not so much. I liked it. I didn't find anything shocking or disturbing. In Hereditary, when the little girl's head gets lopped off, even though I saw it kind of coming, I was still like, holy fuck, they just did that. Like, there is not a scene in Midsommar where I was like, holy fuck, he just did that. And, like, I kind of was expecting it, which maybe it's my fault as a viewer. And I'm not saying I did enjoy Midsommar, but I think Hereditary is a much stronger product by him.
It is. Midsommar is more like it's a movie essentially about the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
Which the movie he wrote as after a bad breakup. But like movies like that where like you either have a scene that sits with you, or like Mandy where you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Well,
Why do I feel sad?
I do feel
Like,
the ending of Midsommar when they burn the ode and you have the inside angle of it on fire is one of the most haunting scenes in a horror movie in a while. Simply because there's no bullshit to it. It is what it is, and it's filmed, and it's a very beautiful scene just because of how crazily it's filmed. But that is the one scene that did, like, nothing about it kind of shocked me, which was disappointing. But I did love some of the cinematography. His use of CG, I thought should maybe next time not so much. There wasn't a ton,
Yeah.
but like when they drop from the rocks, and I think he is a very amazing practical effects guy, and I'd like him to stick with that as much as possible, or get a better CG team. Not to be a dick, but I'd like clean it up a little.
yeah, I'm excited to see his other stuff, but I like these type of films are like my favorite flavor of horror, and I 4 out of 5 for me. I really hope that Nic Cage stays in this kind of like horror corner that he's in.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see other actors that are not A-list that kind of just like are in their career where they're just like, I just want to do this. That's my favorite type. Like, I don't care for the fucking AAA stuff. But yeah, 4 out of 5.
You can always tell when they're having fun doing a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's up to me now, all right?
Well, it would be your hot dogs, yeah.
You do exactly you.
And we're talking about Mandy, right?
Correct.
Unless you want to give Willy's Wonderland another review.
Yes.
No.
You want to go against your 3.5?
I think I disconnected and you guys just kept going. And I couldn't hear anything.
Oh.
No, so for me, Mandy was pretty fucking crazy. It brought me to so many fucking different levels as far as my fucking own personal persona. Like what I saw in my own life. That shit was fucking crazy.
That's a box quote for Alex. That shit was fucking crazy.
What?
I was gonna say that could be your box quote as us reviewers. Mandy, that shit was fucking crazy.
So just think about
it.
Just think about it. You're in Blockbuster, right? You pull up the cover and you look at, okay, let me see what it says in the back. And in small print, man, that shit was fucking crazy. Alex, Nerded 2 Movie Podcast. One day it'll be on the back.
I hope we get a box quote, guys.
Well, thanks for giving me some time to get it out there, but yeah. All right, 4.
4?
Yeah.
So you liked it way more than you liked. It didn't sound like you liked Willy's all that much, though. You kind of were like arguing with yourself, where you're like, I don't know, that fucking, all right.
No, I did, but yeah, whatever. 4 fucking hot dogs.
Why 4?
4 fucking hot dogs.
4 of those fucking hot dogs.
I did enjoy Mandy's. I did enjoy Mandy, so.
Cool.
You know what? I'm right now. Whatever's going on right now, I'm just gonna say 4, man. Fuck you guys.
Why are you gonna be this way?
Because I had a moment where I was trying to, fix my fucking audio, and then we came back, and then everybody was like, whatever. So hey, we're just gonna go back to 4.
Okay, I still don't understand why you're being very hostile towards us.
I know.
You literally just said "fuck you guys," and I don't think we did anything.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I mean, we didn't unplug your headsets. We're just trying to do our thing and have a discussion, and then we get told "fuck you guys."
Mm-hmm.
Why would you
say? Like my childhood all over again.
Why would you say 4 out of 5 instead of 5 out of 5?
Oh, because I didn't want to be 5.
So 4 is what'd you like about it to where you gave it a 4?
I enjoyed the whole story. Yes.
What didn't you like about it? What are the kind of negatives you had
on it? Mandy?
Yeah, it's like what kept it from being a 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not doing it right now.
Doing what? What you're supposed to be doing, which is reviewing a goddamn movie?
No, because whatever the fuck just happened right now, I'm gonna avoid the whole situation.
What?
I literally had a fucking problem, and I came back, and then I had a whole other situation. So I'm not gonna fuck with it. So I wanna let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I guess I'll avoid the situation I'm about to create then as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week with the first week of the Schwarzenegger movies. Once again are Twins, Commando, and Terminator 1.
Yes.
Other than that, we will see you guys. I'll see you guys throughout the week. I'm trying to get down to the 4-day-a-week stream, but definitely Monday we'll be starting. Then Tuesdays, May the 4th be with you. So we'll be doing Star Wars shit. So, all right, I am good. We will see you guys next week for the very first fun episode of Schwarzenegger Only.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, guys.